Type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money you gon' let you.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A hand will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always... Got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson going for the deep ball. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Wilson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Wilson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They go play action here on 1st down. The hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Two 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try the left side. Scott. Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. That's his longest run of the 1st quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
and they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside, but it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Gotta go. Alert. 95.
Right back to him on first down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the change-up, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. Steps away. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side. Went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him the first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Set! Blue line!
bring him down for a loss of 7. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stopping variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're running a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And it's a fumble. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. On the carry, this is Scott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it. It's caught inside the 25. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Looking to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
No, check, Patriots!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Leopard! Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. First out to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So a minute 55 to go in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
19.
Wilson now, operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And here now come the Falcons. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 319. 319.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now back to throw.
Some runs are blocked safe.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They've got his man complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Holland. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive back, they covered well. A lot for the Souths.
So those were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Scott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now. There we go. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On 1st down, Scott. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down now, Scott. And he's got this one down to the 10. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That's it, baby. That's it. Tempo, baby. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
And another fullback trying to push the pile. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. And his kick here is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now they try the right side here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Going up top. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Seahawks. 54 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. On 1st down, Scott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Wilson to throw on second down. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
He's going to lock one deep left side here. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on third and inches. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Falcons on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be third and 5.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And no, it's incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage is excellent downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. From the gun, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Flushed out right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
They'll try again from the 20 on second and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Back to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big game.
Hard throw, incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down.
Lucky 56.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
Gone. Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't go out.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. So out come the Falcons now. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, on both sides, you come into this game with so much hope, so much build-up, looking to move on. One side gets to do that, but let's not forget the others. Tough pill to swallow.
It really is, because there's so much hard work, effort. You mentioned the hope to go on and maybe play in the big game itself. Well, let's see how they handle it, though. The offseason is going to be a long one for them, because it's going to eat their heart out watching other people continue to play. But can they come back the next year and find it in them to make that same run again and maybe find a way to advance?
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving that rude boy. I'm